Chinola Liqueur is from the Dominican Republic, and here in the United States, Chinola is known as Passionfruit. It's 21% ABV, and unlike most passionfruit purees and syrups, this is shelf-stable without refrigeration. It's free of additives and preservatives, and each bottle contains the juice of 12 to 18 passion fruits. Chinola is made from tart passion fruits that were grown specifically for use in this product. And you can really tell when you taste it. It's not super syrupy. It's very thick like a syrup, but it has a really great tart flavor. I think you can easily substitute this for like a passion fruit puree or like a real passion fruit puree in a recipe. It's just sweet enough. Let's try some cocktails with it. We'll make a Saturn, a gin tiki cocktail, a passion fruit margarita, and a passion fruit cachaca daiquiri. The Saturn is one of the few tiki cocktails with gin instead of rum, and it's one of my favorites. To make the Saturn, I'm going to start out with 1.5 ounces of gin, and I'm going to use this bourbon barrel aged gin because bourbon can be good in tiki cocktails, so a gin that has a little bit of that bourbon flavor profile, I think it'll work great in this one. So we'll do 1.5 ounces, half an ounce of the Chinola, 1/4 ounce of Falernum, half an ounce of lime juice, and 1/4 ounce of orgeat. I'm using the Liquid Alchemist brand today. So I'm going to serve this one with pebble ice. I've also seen this served just with no ice, but I like mine with ice, and I think it'll fit really well in this glass. I'm going to give this one a quick shake. And normally I'd top that off with a little more pebble, but I kind of want this to set a certain way on it. This is the garnish I made earlier. It took me quite a while to cut this shape, but I think it came out pretty good. I'm not sure if I did it the most efficient way. My knife skills are not the greatest. And I will also put a Surfside Sip straw in that one. And there's the Saturn. Next up is a Passionfruit Tequila cocktail recipe. I'll call it a Dominican Daisy. It's essentially a passion fruit margarita. Daisy is a common drink template, much like a sour template. While a sour is a 2-1-1 ratio of spirit, sweet, and sour, a Daisy drink template adds a liqueur as a modifier. Margaritas are a common example, and they usually use orange liqueur, such as Cointreau. In this one, we'll replace the orange liqueur with the passion fruit liqueur. So before I do anything, I'm gonna rim my glass. I decided to go with a Hawaiian red sea salt today. For our margarita, we're going to use 1.5 ounces of Espolòn Blanco. I also thought of using Mezcal for this. I think that would be really good, but I wanted to kind of keep it basic today. And about now, I would usually be putting Cointreau in, but I will be putting 3/4 ounce of the Chinola, 1 ounce of lime juice, and 3/4 ounce of agave nectar. Give this one a quick shake with some pebble ice. And I'm just going to dump it, ice and all, into my glass. Top it off with a little more pebble. Surfside Sip straw and a nice lime wheel for garnish. There's our passion fruit margarita. Next up is a passion fruit daiquiri. I love daiquiris because you can experiment with different types of rum, much like you'd experiment with different whiskeys in an old-fashioned. I'm actually not even going to use rum today. I'll use cachaça. Cachaça isn't quite the same thing as rum because it's made from fresh sugarcane juice instead of molasses. However, some people do refer to it as Brazilian rum, and it works well in a lot of rum cocktails. So for this passion fruit daiquiri, I'm going to put in 2 ounces of Novo Fogo cachaça, 3/4 ounce of lime juice, 3/4 ounce of simple syrup, and 3/4 ounce of Chinola. I'm going to shake this one with some standard 1-inch cubes. And a nice simple garnish with a lime wheel. There's our Passionfruit Daiquiri with Cachaca. Okay, so here are our 3 Chinola Passionfruit cocktails. We've got the Saturn, using gin as the main spirit, the Margarita with, of course, tequila, and the Cachaca Daiquiri. So let's give the Saturn a try. Yeah, that is really good because it does have that bourbon barrel influence. It's a little bit less like kind of juniper-y than other gins, so that actually works really well in that cocktail. The Chinola is definitely coming through, and that nice like tart passion fruit works perfectly. So now I will try the Margarita. Yeah, the tequila actually stands out in this one a lot more than the gin does in this one. This is basically just like a classic margarita with a little twist. I think it works perfectly. And the Cachaca Daiquiri, I already know this one is good because I had one yesterday. But if you're a Cachaca fan, you're still going to get that kind of earthy, funky taste from the Cachaca. And if you're not into that, you can use a white rum, and that would also be good, but I really like it with the Cachaca. It's a little different. So let me know in the comments below which one of these you think you would like the best, the Saturn, the Margarita, and the Daiquiri. I'm really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel as far as getting 1,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, I would love it if you would hit the subscribe button and help me reach that goal. And as always, cheers!